I'm here to talk about how the journalists, lawyer, and activists are targeted by the state and the police of Tripura while raising their voice against anti-Muslim violence, which started in month of October 2021. My colleague and I decided to cover the ground reality of this very alleged news, which got more information from various other social media platforms. Before we dive right into how my experience was while covering this story, I would like to throw some light on the reason why the anti-Muslim violence was taking place in the first place. Okay, so a piece of news came floating from our neighboring country, Bangladesh, during one of the most celebrated Hindu festival, Durga Puja. The Hindu minority community in Bangladesh was targeted and attacked by the majority community in Bangladesh. As a reciprocation of the same, the Muslim minority community was targeted in Tripura. Hence, we decided to cover this story and reach the ground reality. And we reached Tripura on November 11th, and we visited the places which were said to have faced allegedly the most violence in the past few days. We were collected all our ground reports for 3 days and were preparing to leave by the end of the fourth day. However, things started to get really serious from the Tripura police end by the end of the third day. The hotel, in the face of giving us security, reached our hotel at 10:30 p.m. In our hotel on our third night, night was communicated to us, but a lot of mental pressure and surface intimidation was channelized from their end. We didn't think much of it since it was night time already. We had an early morning train to catch the following day. Since we were staying in a village called Dharmnagar, we had another flight to catch from nearby city. The police had stayed overnight outside our hotel, and by the time we checked out from our hotel around 5:15 a.m. to leave to catch our train, we were stopped from even leaving our hotel by the Tripura police. They conveyed that an FIR was registered against us by a VHP member, and they wanted to take us for a questioning in the Unakoti district. The IPC sections imposed on us were quite brutal, which included 120B, criminal conspiracy, 153A, promoting enmity between two groups, 504 in India, the police cannot take in women for questioning before sunrise and after sunset. Hence, we refused to go with them. They then proposed that they are ready to perform their interrogation in the hotel itself by setting up a camera there. We declined their request and communicated to them that we have a right to a lawyer, and we would also like to inform our organization regarding this matter. We were ready to cooperate with the police. However, they were too lean on taking us along. We requested them to show us our FIR copy. We also asked them to issue a 41A notice to appear at the police station on the date mentioned in the notice. We were intimidated and harassed by the Tripura police for 3 hours straight in our hotel, and by the end of the same, they finally issued a 41A notice, according to which we had to appear at the 45 PA police station on or before November 21st. By this time we had missed our train, so we now booked a cab and the city we wanted to catch our flight from. On our way to the city airport, we were detained by Assam police. Upon questioning our detainment, we were informed that the Assam police was followed Tripura police instructions. By the time we weren't aware of the fact that there was a second FIR filed against us by Kakraban police station in Udaipur district. It was 5:30 in the evening when a squad team of Tripura police reached, and the squad team had arrived there to detain us and take us back to Tripura. We asked them to show us a copy of FIR and order issues against us, to which they firmly denied. Even though we were ready to cooperate and it's our right to arrange a lawyer for our defense. Tripura police was against all the proposal. I was manhandled by a lady police officer at the Assam police station. She pushed me and almost snatched my phone away by force because they didn't have the correct papers issue with the hens. We managed to keep ourselves from getting detained. We were then sent a shelter home in Assam at around 9 p.m. and were told that we would taken to Tripura police station the following days. Now, if you all think it has been a pretty long day so far, there's more to come. At 12:30 in the night, Tripura police arrived at our shelter home to arrest us with 4 police jeeps, 1 bus with full of CRPF personnel, and 1 SUV car. We were taken away from our shelter homes at around 1 o'clock in the night. After completing the regular arresting procedure and protocol, we were made to travel the entire night to reach Tripura. We were made to appear in the next day. We were made to appear in the Udaipur district court the following day. We thankfully released on bail. The condition for the insurance of our bail were we had to appear in Kakravan police station every first day of every month, and we also had to be available and present in the police station as when police felt necessary by when felt necessary by the police that would help the investigation. With the bail issued, it was made clear to the public that the situation's intensity was severely toned down. However, it was made the beginning of more intimidation and mental harassment by Tripura police, and this time legally. We were interrogated 4 times in 15 days for about 9 to 13 hours each day. During our interrogation, we were called writers who came to Tripura to work and report against the state. As journalists, it's our duty to research and report the injustice and wrong in society. Even though we were working in all our honesty and sincerity with no intention of harm, we were framed and treated like criminals for the entire duration. It is evident that my colleague and I went through several trauma and unimaginable level of mental torture as journalists. However, our respective families and close friends went through all things similar during the coverage of this entire episode. We in India emphasize a lot on women empowerment, and we all stand with the right of freedom of speech and freedom of press. And on the same lines, just putting it out here for you all to know that the press freedom index in India has been consistently declining since 2014, which thoroughly justifies the state in power targeting and manipulating the press. We were not only journalists that were targeted and wronged. It was our luck that our story was brought to light and was made public to this extent. However, many stories in India that go untold. Thank you.